Hello and welcome to Get Yourself Optimized. I'm your host, Stephan Spencer, and today I am so excited to have Yuval Abramovitz. He is just a light, an inspiration to the world. He's an actor, a radio host, a writer, and entrepreneur who also lectures on self-fulfillment, entrepreneurship, creativity, and courage. He's most known for his best-selling book, The List, which is published in multiple languages, and he has 6 other best-selling books as well, and he has a wonderful TEDx talk which I've watched. Yuval, it's so great to have you on the show.
Thank you very much. I'm very happy to be with you. And actually, since I don't know, someone wrote my Wikipedia information, I wrote 16 books.
Whoa!
Yeah.
16. You are prolific. Amazing.
Yeah. And I have so many things to say to the world. So, I can't stop writing. I can't stop writing. One day I spoke with an agent and he told me, you should rest a bit. You need to publish the book once in a year, only once in a year, every 3 or 4 years. And I told him, why? I have so many things that I want to share with the world. I mean, why do I need to play this stupid game and say, okay, I will write my next book only in 3 years from today? I mean, it's like, Beyonce. She's recording music all the time. I mean, I don't see any difference between music or books or anything else. If you have something to say to the world, just say it.
Yeah. And you inspire a lot of people. So every time you have a book out, you change more lives and you make a difference for people. And who knows how many lives you've saved because of your writing.
Yes, I don't know what to say. It's like it's like a magic. Writing a book, it's almost like a magic. You don't know what will happen with the book. Even if I have few books that hit and did great jobs. Still, I'm very surprised every time that someone write me email or stop me in the street and talk with me about my books. And it's a magic. I'm sitting in my study writing something to myself, and suddenly it's around the globe. Yeah.
Yeah, amazing. Now let's start with your book, The List, that I think is probably I'm guessing your biggest seller and the book you're most known for.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how did that book come about? And let's talk about the whole premise of The List, what The List is and what it means.
Actually, the story of the book started when I was 16 years old. I'm going to be 44 in this weekend. And when I was 16 years old, I had an accident. I used to work in a restaurant as a busboy, and one day I fell over an oily puddle and I cracked my head and I damaged my back and I became handicapped. And I was in hospital for almost a year, and I was so bored while I was in hospital that I took an old notebook and started writing what I'll do when I'll be older. And from that moment, I became obsessed with lists. I'm writing lists all of my life. I achieved a lot of things in my life until now. And I found this old list a few years ago. Actually, it was, I think, 12 years ago when I was cleaning my study. And I found my notebook from age 16 and another list that I wrote 15 years ago. And I was reading my list and I was asking myself, how come that I achieved so many dreams, so many big dreams, like being an actor, open shops, and have few business and a family and buy an apartment, and but I was stuck with small things like going to the gym. Okay, do you know this goal? Go to the gym, yes.
Yeah.
So go to the gym or learn a new language. So I was really curious, and it was 12 years ago, and I was really interested in Facebook and what is going on in this weird thing, Facebook. And I decided to open a blog and to call it The List, and to publish a new list of dreams, 10 things that I want to achieve in the next 400 days. And I put a link on my Facebook, and after I think, 48 hours, I started getting emails from all around the globe. I mean, from Rwanda, from the States, from Israel, from Iraq, Iran, France, all around the globe. People start writing me, I know someone who knows someone who knows someone who knows someone who can help you. And they also send me their lists of dreams. And in the beginning, I was really excited. So I told everyone, wow, it's amazing, great list. And after a few weeks that I got hundreds of emails, I told people, you know what? Let's upload your list to my blog and start share your dreams and dreams and goals with other people. And a lot of people told me, no, I prefer that it will be only between of us. It's a secret, it's private. And I told them, why? I mean, share your dreams. Look what happened to me. And one day, 6 years ago, I was walking with my daughter in one of the streets in Tel Aviv. I'm from Tel Aviv in Israel. It was evening, and my daughter Shira, she was mumbling something to herself. And I asked her if everything is okay. And she told me, yes, Dad, I just asked for a wish because I saw a shooting star. And I asked her, what is your dream? And she told me, I can't tell you. If I'll tell you, it won't happen. And then I realized that no one told us that we should speak about our dreams. That what we know, that if we see a shooting star, we ask for a wish quietly. If my eyelash will fall down, I will ask for a wish quietly. Even in our birthday, we ask for a wish quietly. And that was the moment that I start saying to myself, people must shout out their dreams, speak out loud about their dreams and goals, and use the power of Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn and Twitter, and ask for people to help them. And my blog became huge, really. And one day I got a call from the university in Tel Aviv, and they told me, hello, do you have a lecture about the list idea? And I told them, yes, I can build something for you. And they asked me, how much money do you ask for? I told them, I don't know, money, and whatever you want to pay me. And that was the beginning of my new career. And I think that after something like 20 or 30 lectures, I started hearing from the audience, it's a shame that you don't have a book. So I wrote a book about how to achieve your dreams and goals, how to use the power of Facebook and Instagram to share it with others. And so I wrote a book, but all the publishers in Israel told me that I can't publish this book because I'm too young. I was then 37 years old. And they told me that it's not a research. I'm not a doctor. So maybe one day. And I decided to prove that if you shout out your dreams and goals, it will happen. So I opened a crowdfunding profile and I asked people to buy my book. And after a few days, I raised around 250,000 shekel. And I published my book, and actually the rest is history, because from there, my book in China, in South Korea, in the States, Canada, Belgium, France, and more countries. So if you hear us, look for my book in Amazon.
That's amazing.
So this is the story of the list.
That's such a great story and so inspirational. And 250,000 shekels is a fair amount of money. For those listeners who don't know how much that is, it's what, like $75,000, $80,000, something like that?
Yeah, something like that. And actually from then on, all my books I raised using the crowd. I raised almost 2 million shekel in the last 4 years, just from shouting my dream and share my dreams with my audience. I built a community. I really believe in building in a community, using Facebook, using Twitter, using LinkedIn, whatever you like. I mean, and I think that everyone today must have a community. It can be even only 100 people who like to speak with you about, I don't know, birds, about children, about money, about books. It can be million people, but build yourself community. I know that today, and we're speaking now while we're in Corona time, so it's very difficult time for everyone. And I must tell you that this is a good time for me, personally and professionally, because I built myself community. I have something like 3,000 followers, and I don't need shops, I don't need managers, I don't need someone that will help me. I just can write, good morning, fellows, I have a new book, and this is my book. So if you want, you can buy my book even in good price, because I don't need to pay commission to shops, even though I'm in shops, of course. You can buy my books. I have time. I can write and sign on your copy, and I build myself community, and it really helped me in Corona time. And I think that everyone must build himself a community.
Yeah, yeah. So it's not just having followers, it's having a tribe of people who actually care about you and want you to succeed. And they're willing to ask a friend, call in a favor with somebody, make an introduction, somehow make a difference for you, even if it takes a little bit extra of their time or resources to do so, because they care about you. They want you to have a good life.
Exactly. And you know what? But you must understand, I mean, everyone that hear us must understand that you must work with your community. You can't only tell them or ask them to buy something from you or give your like or share your status. You must give them value. You must give them contact and information and be in touch with them. Sometimes people tell me, well, I don't have time to write on Facebook or Instagram to waste my time. And what I'm saying to people that I treat my Facebook, and I see my Facebook and Instagram like my office. This is my office. Instead of driving 1 hour to the office or I don't know, be stuck in traffic. So this is my office. And every day I find something like, I don't know, 1 hour, that's all, even less sometimes, even sometimes 15 minutes a day. And, I upload something interesting. Sometimes I'm selling, sometimes I'm sharing, sometimes I'm giving them information. And of course, I need to read everything people write me and to answer them. I'm getting every week hundreds of emails from all around the globe, and I'm answering to all the people that write me. Sometimes I can answer after 2 months because I have so many emails, but I'm doing it by my own, even though I have an assistant, because sometimes people send me something very, very personal, and I feel that I need to answer my audience and to be in touch with them. You can, because I see a lot of people that all the time just selling and selling and selling and forget that you must be in touch with your audience. It's like politician. Every time that there is an election, so you see all, Hillary Clinton and Biden and Trump driving all around the country in the States and shaking hands and talking with people, this
and
is
holding babies.
Yes, yes, it's part of the work. So I really believe in community and giving them value and be in touch with them. And yes, it's working great.
Yeah. So give first and then get, rather than trying to get all the time. Yep. And how active is that Facebook community of yours? Do you have thousands of people in it, tens of thousands, hundreds of people, and how often are people posting there?
I have a few groups on Facebook. For example, I have a big group that encourage people to shout out their dreams and their list, and people that know my idea help each other. So I think in this group, for example, there is something like 30,000 people, and they understand the rules, so they don't need me. Every day I think something like 50 people post their dreams and goals. I just approved the status, and people understand the logic of the idea, and they help each other. And sometimes I have time to answer myself or to upload a short video, but people do it. But I think that it's very important to build a community that they don't need the leader all the time, because I can't be all day on Facebook and Instagram. I must work, write books, have lectures. I have my children, so it's important to build a community that can work alone without the leader.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And speaking of the lectures that you do, are you doing like personal development seminars? Somebody like Tony Robbins or Brendan Burchard kind of doing that sort of thing, as well as teaching for the university, or just one or the other?
Actually, I'm doing everything. I'm doing bar mitzvot. I'm doing weddings. I'm not kidding. That people invite me to the wedding to have a lecture about the list. So when I start my new career with the list, it was almost 10 years ago. I didn't have any dream or fantasy that one day I will speak with people about how to achieve their goals and dreams. And in the beginning, it was only a very small lecture, but then people asked me for more content. They told me, okay, I got the idea, but I want more from you. So I built another lecture and another seminar. So today I have something like 10 lectures and seminars that I'm doing. All are talking about dreams and goals and idea and opportunities. So I'm working with companies all around the globe, mainly in Israel, but also in Europe, in the States a bit. Before the Corona, I was traveling a lot. I was really tired. It's not easy, because you travel too. It's not easy. But I really enjoy, it's not the money that I'm follow. It's when I'm standing on stage and I see even one person that really get what I'm saying, and I can see in his eye that something is changing, and saying to himself, wow, it's amazing. Yes, I must shout out my dream. I feel that I must drive to the north of the country or to travel to Paris to speak with people. So today I have something like 100 hours of content, and I believe that a year from today or 2 years from today, it will be in a huge seminar once a while. I don't know, every 3 months I'll do a seminar of 2 or 3 days, because I must stress it was crazy decade for me. I really enjoyed, but it was a really crazy decade for me.
Yeah, yeah. So you do a lot of stuff. You're a Renaissance man. You're not just writing books and teaching seminars and lectures. You have all these other things like the acting and the radio hosting and so forth. Like, how are you allocating your time these days?
Yeah. So, first I want to say something about the fact that I'm doing a lot of things, because you told me you're a Renaissance man, but when I was young, a lot of people told me you must focus, decide what you're going to do when you'll be older. And I say, why? I mean, I really love to act. I'm quite okay with that. I did something like 500 episodes in few soap opera in Israel, and theater and movies, and I worked in the biggest newspaper in Israel, and I really enjoy it. And I also write books, and I also have a radio show, and I also open few shops. So why do I need to do only one thing? That's what beautiful in life, and special today that the world is so small. And why do I need to decide what I want to do? So for years, I felt that I'm paying a price for being all of these things. I read a lot of articles about me in the media. Some of them wrote, "You must decide what you want to be." I mean, it can't be, but why? I mean, I don't know. Lady Gaga, she can be a singer and an actor, and also, I don't know, maybe to sell a perfume or makeup. Why not? I mean, fine. I feel that the list is like a combination of all of my abilities as an actor standing on stage, as a writer or journalist telling a story, and of course as a businessman know how to rent the auditorium and to work with my team. Um, so actually, a few days ago, someone asked me, what was your biggest dream when you was a child? And I told him, I had a dream. I wasn't sure what I'll be when I'll be older, but my dream was to have a calendar and that every day will look different from the other day. And this is my life today. I mean, sometimes when I'm bored from writing, I say, okay, now this is a period of time that I want to act, to play, to be in theater or television. And okay, I got bored from television, so I will take a rest, and now I want to open, I don't know, a shop or to develop something. So I don't know. I have so many dreams. I have dreams of politics. Maybe one day I'll be in politics in Israel. I don't know. I have few offers here and there. I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. But I follow my heart. I listen to what I want to do. I'm 44 years old. In this weekend, I'll be 44. And I just spoke with my daughters today. Shira is 12 years old and Noga is 7 years old. And they asked me, are you happy with your life? And I say, a lot. I'm in the middle of my life, exactly, sort of. And yes, I did so many things and I'm so happy. I'm waking every morning with a smile, waiting for the next day. I think this is a dream. I live in a dream. So, and I'm also I'm trying to find time to myself because it sounds like I'm working all day. No, no, no. I have time to think. I have time to rest. I think that people that want to be, I don't know, writer and actor must have time for thinking. Today we live in a crazy decade. We're running all the time. We have our iPhone and iPad, and we don't have time to think. Even when we're alone, we're not alone. Okay? Even when we're traveling to a vacation, we're taking pictures all day, photos all day. Even when we're going to sleep with our iPhone and wake up with our iPhone. And I really believe that we need to find time to ourselves to think about what I want to do next week, next month, next year. I don't know. So I'm trying to live that way.
Yeah, that makes so much
By,
sense. And
yeah, by the way, I'm sorry for my English. I didn't finish high school, and so I'm sorry for my English.
oh, you don't have to apologize for your English. I think it's great, and it's about the content. You're an inspiring person, and whether you get every single word right or not is really inconsequential. So thank
Yeah,
you for sharing your.
yeah. No, no, I'm saying it because I guess that people that will hear us will be all around the globe. And I remember that in the first time that I got a call from the States, they told me, okay, we want you to lecture about the list. I was so nervous. I said, oh my God, my English is so bad. Now my English is much better, but my English is so bad. I didn't finish high school because of the accident. And I was so nervous. And, one of the things that I'm saying in my book and in my lecture is that we must play in life, just play. Everything amazing that we have in life today, like airplanes and computers and electricity, happened because people played like a game. I want to build an airplane. I want to build a computer. So I'm playing. And even though I know that I have mistakes, I hear myself. I know that sometimes I have mistakes in English. You know what? I don't care. Not because I don't care about people and I want to be rude, because I know that people understand what I'm saying. And as you said, the content, this is the main thing. So I decided to stop being nervous or apologize about my mistakes because I'm playing. I'm playing a game. And I'm sure that in 3 years from today, my English will be better. And 10 years ago, my English will be much better. And that's all.
Yeah, well, it's not a coincidence that I watched a TEDx talk about a week ago. It's specifically about learning languages because I'm trying to learn Hebrew.
Mm-hmm.
And well, I am learning Hebrew. Let me just restate that because
Yeah.
I'm not trying, I'm actually learning Hebrew. And this was really a powerful way of looking at it from this talk was don't try to learn a language like you learn the piano because then you're focused on every little mistake and people will point those mistakes out, especially your teacher and so forth. Play it like a video game because you
Oh,
see these people in arcades or on Twitch or whatever, and they're just full immersion, loving every minute of shooting everything up, and not worried that they made a mistake, and
yeah.
not feeling totally judged for any of those mistakes. They're just having a good time, and the people that are surrounding them, either in the room or virtually, are also encouraging and not pointing out the mistakes because it's a video game. So that is, I think, very appropriate to what you were
Yeah.
just and relevant to what you were just talking about.
Yeah.
I'll include a
Yeah.
link to that TEDx talk in the show notes for this episode, as well as, of course, your TEDx talk on the list, which is, as I mentioned in the intro, fantastic. I love that talk.
Thanks.
So, how do you go about making a list? It's not a to-do list; it's a dreams list, and what's too short, what's too long, what's the
Yeah.
process for coming up with it. Do you do like a thinking exercise prior to it? Because you did mention having some thinking time, which I love, by the way, and I learned about that concept from Keith Cunningham, who wrote
Mm-hmm.
The Road Less Stupid. A
Mm-hmm.
great title for a book. But he talks about how he has a thinking chair that he will only sit in when he has his thinking
Mm-hmm.
time, and he won't bring his laptop to like work on email
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
anything like that. He brings his notebook, his special idea notebook and pen, and he just gets comfortable, and he actually schedules thinking time, and he's got
Yeah.
that special thinking chair that he'll get into, and ideas flow, and it makes such a difference to his businesses that he does this.
Exactly. So first thing that it's very important to do, again, especially because we live in a crazy decade that we're running all the time. And we have Netflix and Amazon Prime, and we have so many noise around us. So first, yes, just to close your computer and close your phone and take a note and a pen and just in the beginning just write all of your thought, all of your dreams, big and small and stupid, without any excuses, because we have so many excuses and explanation to ourselves. So without saying my husband, my wife, my children, work, boss, corona, money, I don't feel good, just write everything. I don't know, even thousand things. So in the beginning, just let your um, dreams and thought go out, pop up out of your head in the beginning, because a lot of people don't have the time to think about it. And I meet so many people from all around the country in Israel and also around the globe. And there is some people in some countries that it's a matter of mentality sometimes, because there is communities that say, don't dream, just do. Your family, think about your family, you don't have time. Dreams, it's only for people who have time or have money. Be humble. I hear it all the time from religious people in Israel, be humble, family, that's all. But they have dreams, especially the young one. So first thing, write, take a notebook or a paper and just write a lot of dreams, 10, 20, 30, 30, 40, and more. Then, of course, start, look at the dreams and your goals and ask yourself a few questions like, why I wrote this dream? Uh, is it my dream or my parents' dream? is it my dream or maybe just a fantasy? Talking about learning a new language. So sometimes we have a lot of fantasies. One day I will learn how to speak Chinese. Do you really need Chinese? Do you really want Chinese, or it's a fantasy? So if it's a fantasy, or it's a dream from, I don't know, high school, but it's not belong to you anymore, so delete it or put it aside. Say, I'm not sure about this dream, and look for the dreams that you really, really want to achieve in the next 400 days. By the way, why 400 days? Because you can see the future in your eyes. It's a year and a bit. It's not 20 years from today. And choose 10 things that you want to really achieve. I say choose different dreams. I mean, something that belong to your family, something belong to your work, something dream that belong to the world. I don't know, to travel to some country or to meet someone interesting. So you'll have different dreams. And the next step is also to shout your dreams out and ask for help. Speak about your dream all the time, with everyone. It's very important, I think, because you don't know when you'll meet the person who can help you in real life and using Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. But also, of course, you need to take your dreams, and then the dream it's only a title, okay? To be slimmer, it's only a title. Now you need to write to yourself the action that you need to do. What you need to do. Find a trainer, go to the gym. For example, I wrote in my original list to be shape, and it didn't happen in the beginning. I say, why? But I wrote it, okay, because I only wrote it. I must act. So I decided to take a year to myself and to search and look for the right sport to myself. What is good for me? So I tried bicycle and I didn't like it. And I tried to run and I didn't like it. And in the end, I found swimming. That's what I'm doing today. That's what I like. Good result. I'm happy with my body. So sometimes you just need to find the road for achieving your dream. Because when you write it, it's only a title in the beginning. And if you want that something will happen, you must act. A lot of people tells me that the book, it's a bit like The Secret. I guess that you know about this great book, The Secret, and the movie, and I really love it when it was out. And it's true that both books are talking about being positive and thinking about your dreams, but I find that a lot of people don't get the message until the end with the secret, because they're talking all the time about universe will hear you and think about your dreams and the universe will help you. And sometimes people think that if they will sit on the sofa and they will send to the world their dreams, something will happen. So it's not only thinking, it's mainly acting and doing things that you need to do.
Yeah, including speaking the dreams to others so that they hear that you have something that you're trying to, a goal that you're trying to reach, because otherwise how are they going to help you if it's a secret?
Yeah.
So how do you come up with different ideas for books, and are they all or mostly nonfiction, or some of them fiction? I already kind of know the answer to this, but like what's your process, and how do you get inspired to create your next book?
Yeah. So as I told in the beginning, I wrote until today 16 books that published, and I'm working now on another 2 books. And actually, you know, a lot of people talking all the time about muse, that they have muse to write or they don't have any muse. And I'm saying that it's not a matter of I have a muse or inspiration, because then again you put your talent in the end of, I don't know, God is sending me inspiration. I'm using the word trigger. I have trigger to write. It's like I will tell you, why do you post something on Facebook Facebook or Instagram because you saw something on street and you want to post. You have a trigger. It was election lately in the States, so you have trigger to write something about Biden or Trump, whatever. So every time that I'm walking around, I see so many triggers to write. For example, when the book, The List, published in the States, I think it was 3 years ago, I was in the States for a few weeks. And between lectures and events, I was walking on the street like a tourist. And I saw so many people holding shopping bags in their hands. And one day I said, oh my God, who need all of this garbage? Why do we need to shop I mean, there is so many things to do in New York. Why everyone is running to buy new shoes? And
retail therapy.
yeah. So then I decided to write a book for children, talking about, it's about a child who one day he checked what he have in his room and he discovered that he don't have 3 things that his friends have. And he said, it's not fair, I don't have those things. And his mother teach him a game called I don't have, but I have. And she offer him every time that you see something that you don't have, say something that you have. So I don't have this game, but I have this game. So you will learn how to appreciate what you have. So I wrote it while I was in the States. This book for children, it's a huge book here in Israel, and I hope that after the Corona, I will sell it to more countries because everyone now stop printing new books. So I see the ideas around me all the time. Sometimes, especially about the books about dreams and opportunities and idea, I get emails from readers. They ask me so many questions, great questions. Sometimes I don't have the answer. So I tell them, you know what, I will think about the answer for you. And then when I find the answer, I say, okay, this is a book. If, for example, the second book after the list called The Idea, how to make an idea become reality. And I read so many lists from all around the globe, and I noticed that almost everyone have an idea in his dream, in his list, to open a business, to record a CD, to, I don't know, to have a lecture, to open a blog, and much more. And most of people don't know how to do it, and it's very easy. There is few, tools that you can work with lists and know how to do it. So I wrote this book, for example. Or I can tell you when I start working around the globe, especially when my book was published in France, I was so depressed. I was in France alone for a few weeks. I don't know how to the language, so I was alone, and it was a huge thing then in France, and I was so depressed. I felt that the list took me from my life. I really missed my children, missed home, even though I was in an amazing hotel's room. I really wanted to be at home, and I was depressed for a few weeks. And I was talking with my psychologist, and I told her, I think that I want to stop with this thing of the list because I feel that the list control my life. Instead, I control the list. And one day I told myself, Yuval, you got an opportunity, so you have 2 options. One option is stop it and, okay, don't answer emails, close your Facebook, and the book will be out, but no one can be in touch with you. This is one option. And then I told myself, but the other option, look what happened to you. You wrote a book. It became all around the globe. So, and it's a dream of so many writers, and it happened to you. So you must decide if you want to hug this opportunity or to complain all day. And again, of course, because I'm optimistic, I told myself, okay, I will hug this opportunity. So this was the trigger writing about the book about opportunities. Even now, the Corona, again, we're recording this conversation while we're in Corona time, and it's scary. I know people who got sick and even people who died, and I think that everyone see the result in their bank account. I mean, everyone feel the Corona, and we're stuck at home and we can travel, but there is so many opportunities in Corona. I know it sounds like a cliche, but it's true. And to know your family. I think that in the last year, I spent so many times, great time with my family, my children. I learned to cook, finally, after so many years. I adopt a dog. So I have so many things. So I think even now, it's a great time of opportunity. So you need to decide if you're complaining all day, or you say, okay, this is a time that we live, and let's see what we can do. Even as a Jewish, I can say, even in the Holocaust, yes, it was a horrible time, but even in the Holocaust, there was theater, Jewish theater, and people published book, and people continue living, and people have children, and people have sex, So, and it was the Holocaust, much worse than Corona. So I see triggers all around me. I'm surrounded with ideas for books. I have so many ideas for books.
Yeah, amazing. And I remember something that my friend Ephraim Olszewski, who was a guest on this podcast, told me once. He tells his kids, if they're complaining or having a tantrum about something, he asks them, are you creating or are you complaining? And
Nice.
that's such a powerful question, because then they will reevaluate. And one time he was driving his kids to the gym, so they were going to hang out in the daycare area, and him and his wife were going to go work out.
Mm-hmm.
Well, one of his kids had forgotten his iPad, and so he was in the process of having a meltdown once he realized that he didn't have it, and that they probably weren't going to drive back to go get it.
Mm-hmm.
And so he asked his kid, are you complaining or are you creating? And as he did it, he was holding his iPhone in his hand. And then his kid looked at him and was like, oh, can I borrow your iPhone? Yes, you may. Yeah. So
But it's true. It's remind me that I'm writing my books usually in Greece. I'm flying to one of the islands for 2 weeks, alone working on my new book. Then I'm coming back to Tel Aviv. Then I'm traveling 3 months after again, and then I finish a book. And one day I traveled to one of the islands in Greece. And while I was open my computer, I traveled for 2 weeks. My computer just, went out. No electricity. And I was stuck in a very small island with no shop who can help me. I can't buy a new computer. No one can fix my computer. I didn't know what to do. And I was talking with one of my friends, and she told me, let's try to write your book in a notebook, like in the past days. So I was trying to write on a notebook. It didn't work for me. And then a friend of me told me, try to write on your iPhone notes. Told him, I can't write a book on notes. And he told me, try. And you know what? I was sitting at the sea every day, and I was writing my book on my iPhone, 16 chapters, and I learned myself to write on my iPhone. And today, every time that I have a free time while I'm waiting my children after school or whatever, I'm writing few sentences. So it was a disaster that became opportunity for me, because I learned something new.
Yeah, it was a gift. And I've said this probably more than a few times on this podcast, but Orion, who my wife, she has this expression, it's a gift, but sometimes the bow is on the bottom, and that was an example of that.
Exactly.
Yeah. Now, one thing that I noticed one time when I was at your place is you showed these handwritten notes that came in from readers, and you were sending chapters of your book out to readers for feedback. And they would write long explanations, and they would write in the margins of the printouts that you'd send them. You'd actually send a chapter printed out to them in the mail, and then they would return it with all their notes and everything.
Yeah.
I was really impressed by that. Explain this.
Why?
Yeah.
Why did you find it interesting?
Well, I don't know of anybody who does that in terms of getting feedback from their readers while the book is being written, for one thing. I think that's pretty unusual. Usually what I hear from authors is that they will get feedback on the book from editors and other colleagues, other authors, and so forth once a rough version of the manuscript is finished. Not a chapter at a time. Like, okay, here's my first chapter. What do you think? I haven't started on chapter 2 yet, but I want feedback on chapter 1. That I think is unusual. And then to do this in a very analog format and not just send a Word document or a PDF to these folks, but instead to send them in the mail a printout that they're going to hand write on. I think that's pretty unusual as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm doing unusual things. And actually, I started doing it, I think, 3 or 4 books before 3 or 4 books that I wrote, yes. I was writing a novel called The Year of Gifts. I really love this book. It's a huge thing here in Israel, and after the Corona, it will be published in France, and I hope in the States also. And I felt that I want to be really good in this book because it was a very important book to myself. And I decided to offer people that follow me to read my book while I'm writing the book. So I choose 100 people that I don't know, different age, different professional, different people. And I every few weeks I send them in envelopes 6 or 7 chapters, and I ask them to write what they feel while they read the book. It was very funny. It was too long. I didn't get the joke. I didn't understand this character. It reminded me a story of myself. And then I read all the notes. Some of the notes I agree. Some of them I didn't agree. Some of the notes was, very cute. Some of them was really uncute and or even insulting. But, in the end of the day, I'm writing for an audience. I'm not writing to myself. Last night I was doing Zoom with a group of writers, very famous writers here in Israel, and the host, and it was with audience, and the host asked everyone, all the writers, do you think about your audience while you write? And everyone say, well, no, I'm writing to myself. I don't think about the audience. I don't care about them. I'm trying to be honest with myself. If they like it, they like it. If they won't like it, they won't like it. I don't care. This is art. And I said, well, I don't believe you. I don't believe that a writer sits in his study room or whatever for a year or 2, sometimes 5 years, writing something, and you don't care if people will like it. I'm not trying to be shallow or to write what people want to read, but I want to hear what people think about it. Because behind every person there is 2,000 people that will think the same. And I know that some of the group told me, I think that you can be shorter in between chapter 3 to chapter 7. So, okay, so I heard 100 people say it's too long. So I zipped them and I did it short. I really love to be in touch with the audience. I'm writing for the audience. It's like, I don't know, cook, chef in a restaurant. He must think about what people will say about the food. It will be tasty or not tasty, salty or not salty. I think that there's something about writing that there's so many writers that I don't understand them. It's like it's very important profession. Only we can write and you can't write. No, everyone can write. Everyone write every day on Facebook and Twitter, on I don't know, a love love, when you are looking for love and you have download some apps and you're writing all day message for someone, texting on WhatsApp. I mean, everyone is writing, and everyone
That
can.
reminds me of the quote from Ratatouille, the movie. Anyone can cook.
I know. Yes, it's
I
true.
love that
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
movie.
Yeah. So yes, and it's like I don't know. There is so many. There is. I really, it's like in the big companies for food or dress or whatever. They have a group of people that test the food, test the clothes, test the car. Why not test my book before I publish my book? And I think that one of the reasons that, for example, this book specifically, the Year of Gift, became such a huge success here in Israel and will be out after the corona in few countries, because I ask people what do you think about what I wrote. I really want to hear. I want to be better. I want to be better. So that's all.
Yeah, that's great. And it's also a good lesson on intentionality. Like you have a higher intention for your book than just to make it on the New York Times bestseller list or whatever, kind of ego drive that some other author might have.
Yeah.
You have the recipient of the book, the reader in mind, and what transformation you're going to be able to offer them. So it's not information; it's transformation, and you're after an outcome for them. And I think that's laudable.
Yeah. Yeah. It's true.
Yeah. So what is your list currently? Like, what are you dreaming about and shouting from the rooftops
Yeah.
that you want to achieve?
Wow. It's a great question that I hear a lot of times. What is your next dreams? I can tell you that if you ask me this question 2 years from today, the answer was balance. I want balance in my life because I was traveling all around and it was crazy. But I find the balance not because of the corona. Before the corona, I found the balance in my life between working and staying at home and being with my family and being with myself and watching television. Finally, after years that I didn't have time to watch even television. Um, it's a good question. What is my new dreams? Uh, Again, I just spoke about it today with my children, that I feel that I'm very proud of the fact that I'm 44, or maybe only 44, but 44, I'm quite old. But that I achieve a lot of things. I mean, I have family, I have great house, I have crowd, I have books, I have audience, money, time to myself, health. So I feel that I have a lot of things. Um, it's a good question. I don't have a list of dreams. Not now. I mean, because I really achieved in the last decade so many things. I'm thinking sometimes about what would be my next big thing. I'm not sure that I will continue with the list project for years. I know myself. I get bored, and I'm doing it for 10 years, and I feel that my books can work without me. I mean, and people can work about about their list with my books. Maybe with my, I don't know. Maybe I'll have few videos that I will sell one day. I want to this year to have a course, online course. Um, it's a good question. You see, the men with the list don't have a list. This is the
Yeah.
but because I achieved so many things.
Well, I would
I need
guess
to
that
tell.
isn't on your list that you don't have to get your books like the year of gifts. published and into many, many hands in, let's say, the US and France and wherever
Yeah.
else outside of
Oh,
Israel?
of course. I mean, this is, yeah, of course. If someone hear us from, I don't know, all around the globe, if you're a publisher or know someone who knows someone from publishing house from all around the globe, yes, I have 16 books, all bestsellers in Israel, but not only. And I'll be very happy to find more publishers in Germany, for example, and in more countries. And but this is work, and I feel that so lucky that I don't want to ask for more. I have a lot. I'm fine with it. I'll be happy to meet Oprah Winfrey. I mean, I think that she can take my idea, shout out your dreams, and share it with her audience. It's a dream. It's one of my dreams. I was talking with her staff. I was sending her my book. One day maybe it will happen. So I can share with you professional dreams, but you know what? Maybe I didn't mention it because I know that if I have a professional dream, I will achieve it. I know what to do. I can tell you, by the way, talking in English, that I got a call 3 months ago from Hollywood. One of the biggest producer there heard about the list, and he asked me, "Will do you want to do a reality about the list?" So, let me think about it. Yes, I want. And so we start talking, group of people, and building a format for this show. And we just finished to write it 2 weeks ago, I think. And now we're starting pitching the idea to Netflix and Amazon and NBC and CBS. And so maybe this is the next thing, reality based on the list. So, I didn't mention professional dreams because, again, I know that I can achieve everything that I want. And I'm saying it, by the way, not in a, well, everything that I want I can do, because I really trust myself. I mean, I know that if I want to achieve something, I'm working very hard and to get it. And I can tell you that, I build a garden in my house lately, so I enjoy, taking care of the garden. We have a dog, so I enjoy being with my dog. I have small dreams like taking all of my 30,000 photos that I have on my iPhone and iPad and put it in files and print some of them, making albums for my children that are almost 12 years old and she don't have album. And my mother passed away a year ago, so I want to have an album of photos of my mom. So, it's a small dreams. What I can tell you that maybe because I think that we'll finish soon, that a lot of people that hear me think that I'm running after a huge dreams. I don't know, to be in the States, to fly to Australia. It's nice, but dreams, it's not only to be obsessed about achieving dreams. It's just ask yourself every day what I want to do, because we're changing all the time. I'm sure that even you, Stephan, 10 years ago, your list of dreams were different from your list today. I mean,
Completely.
because we're changing. And I think that in the end of the day, the list, it's not only about achieving dreams, it's being in touch with yourself and ask yourself all the time, every few weeks, what I really want. And you know what? I will ask you, what is your list?
What is my list?
Yeah.
Well, I want to have a New York Times best-selling self-help book. I have a working title, which I'm not going to share here on this
Okay.
podcast, but I do want it to be a kind of a spiritual book and something that will help people to elevate their consciousness and love more and be more. And yeah, I want to talk about that book on the Today Show or Good Morning America or both, and change millions of people's lives with it. So that's my big dream for now.
Another dream, not only professional.
Yeah. So another dream.
Yeah. Not professional. Yeah, something, I don't know, personal.
Okay. So
Even small.
My wife and I, Orion and I, want to have another baby. So we have a 15-month-old now. He's amazing, and we get so much joy from him. He's a blessing from God, and we want another one. So
Good luck with that. You can start working. You can start working after this podcast.
yes. Thank you so much for inspiring our listener and making things seem so much more possible and accessible. And yeah, shout out your dreams. It's a beautiful sentiment, beautiful idea, and you're changing the world with that. So thank you for doing that.
Thank you very much. And you can find me all on Amazon and, of course, on my Instagram, Yuval, Yuval .Abramovitz, or on Facebook. And I hope to hear from you.
And what is your website?
It's uv/tlv.com.
UVTLV. UVTLV.com.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Yuval, and thank you, listener. We'll catch you on the next episode of Get Yourself Optimized.
Thank you very much.